Tyson Fury says a man that wears an earring can never beat him. Welcome back to Pro Boxing fans. The countdown is on to Tyson Fury against Oleksandr Usyk. February 17th, a new undisputed heavyweight champion will be crowned after almost 25 years. Lennox Lewis, the last undisputed heavyweight champion, and that was in the 3-belt era. This will be the first 4-belt era champion. And the mind games are definitely in full force. Now, last week, we did a video where we were talking about Tyson Fury and Jai Opetaia. There were obviously rumours that Jai Opetaia dropped Fury, which Jai and his team denied. He obviously left Fury's camp after reportedly sparring just 5 rounds together. And they said he needed to go back to Australia to prepare for Marius Bradis, who he's fighting on the undercard of Fury Usyk, and there was a lack of orthodox sparring. Now, this week there's been some leaks on Twitter of the face-off that Fury and Usyk have done with Steve Bunce, and that's presumably for TNT Sports, who are going to broadcast this fight. Now, there's one clip, especially from the face-off, that's kind of gone viral, where Tyson Fury made some comments about Oleksandr Usyk wearing an earring, and basically suggested that because he's wearing that earring, Fury knows that Usyk can't beat him. It was an interesting interaction they had, because when Fury made the comments, Usyk kind of laughed it off and basically gave some context as to why he's wearing it and made reference to his Cossack heritage. And before we get into sort of analysing what was said, let's hear the exchange.
I know he can't beat me. I know he can't. A man who wears an earring in his ear can never beat Tyson Fury. Ever.
You understand that?
Yes.
Not a chance. No one who wears earrings can beat me.
Я можу пояснити, що це таке. It's Ukrainian warrior. Cossack. Це ті люди, які боронили мою країну багато років від ворога. Тут тільки підтвердження мого козацького роду. Вони нікому не програвали. Тут нема красоти чи моди.
Listen, in Ukraine, it means he's a good fighting man for him. But where I'm from, it means he's a with an earring in.
Now, just for some translation on what Usyk said, because if you're like me, you can't speak Ukrainian. So he said, they were the people who defended my country from our enemies for many years. This is just proof of my Cossack lineage. They never lost to anybody. There's no beauty or fashion in this. So that was Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk exchanging some words and pleasantries on this gloves are off type show, which is yet to be released in full by TNT. Now, to give some context on Usyk's Cossack heritage, the Cossacks are warrior people from Ukraine, and obviously Usyk's very proud of his Ukrainian heritage and his Cossack heritage. And let's not forget, he enlisted in the Ukrainian territorial defense following the invasion of Russia in 2022, and that was before he then stepped in the ring to beat Anthony Joshua in the rematch. And a little context on the Cossacks, if you remember in that rematch, Usyk had quite a memorable haircut, and for those that don't know, that is the traditional haircut of the Cossacks. It's called the Osadelets. And a bit of history on that haircut, it was actually adopted by Ukrainian Cossacks in the 16th century, who would basically leave a long strip, which was often braided or tied into a top knot on top of a shaven head, as you can see in the photo. So Usyk's very proud of that. You know, he's represented his country at the Olympics, and he says he's not wearing this earring for, you know, fashion purposes or to look great and things like that. But Fury is seen as a master of mind games, and he gave his response to that, saying that where he comes from, you know, that's seen as someone who isn't a fighting man. But let me know, what do you think of the comments? I mean, a lot of people started drawing comparisons between these mind games, if they are mind games, to when Fury and Klitschko did a face-off before their fight. And Fury made reference, or he recalled a story where he was in Klitschko's training camp, and there are several guys in a sauna, and Fury and Klitschko were the last ones in there, and Fury got out last. And he said that was a mental victory for him, because he thought that he'd fight Klitschko in the future. And a lot of people did feel that Fury got into Klitschko's head, and maybe that affected his performance. Now, we saw how Klitschko performed against Joshua. He's a lot better. He let his hands go. And you could argue that Fury's style just was too difficult for him, especially at his age, to find a way around. But it's going to be interesting to see how Fury's sort of mind games affect Usyk. Obviously against Joshua, Joshua didn't try to get in his head. I can't remember anyone in Usyk's career that has tried. Maybe Derek Chisora would be the exception. Even he wasn't massively vocal towards Usyk or saying things like this. But let me know, what do you think? I don't think this is going to affect things too much. I think Usyk knows what he's coming up against. And when that bell goes, I think the occasion and what's at stake will matter more than, you know, whether there's been some exchanges in a press conference. It's going to be interesting to see as well what the fight week press conference is like. Will there be more jibes? Will there be more mind games? I'm sure there will be, and it's all leading up to what is a massive fight on February 17th in Riyadh. But yeah, let us know, what you think. Are the mind games relevant? Is Fury in Usyk's head? Is it the other way round? What do you think? This week we've got 2 big cards, one on Sky Sports, one on DAZN. Joshua Buatsi against Dan Aziz. That's going to be an interesting fight. Light heavyweight title eliminator. And Conor Benn faces Peter Dobson. And that fight is going to be in the afternoon in Vegas. So that'll be prime time here in the UK. We'll have coverage from both of those fights all week long. So stay tuned on Pro Boxing Fans. So please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the coverage this week. And we'll see you on the next one.